The story begins not with a tragedy, but with a performance. At Vaught's Grand Hall, a fake funeral for A-Train serves as a masterclass in propaganda. The speedster isn't dead, but his image has been co-opted to serve a narrative of martyrdom. A radicalizing preacher turns the pulpit into a recruitment center, framing the fight against Starlight as a holy war. This is the inciting moment. The culture war has been fully weaponized, and the public is ready to draw blood. For the boys, the stakes have moved beyond mere survival. They are now fighting for the soul of the country while losing their own in the process. In the shadowed hallways of their makeshift hideout, the moral decay of the team is represented by a single vial. Butcher presents Dr. Samir Shah with a super-killing virus. It is no longer just a weapon. It is a potential genocide. Butcher's choice to refine this virus into an airborne plague reveals a man who has finally abandoned his humanity for the sake of vengeance. Huey watches, his face a mask of dawning horror. He understands that while they aim at Homelander, the blast radius will cover the world. They aren't heroes anymore. They are architects of a plague. Homelander, conversely, is drowning in a different kind of isolation. He stands alone in the vast, empty funeral hall, a god with no worshippers he can trust. His decision to release Soldier Boy from stasis is an act of profound desperation. It is a son waking a father he knows hates him purely because he needs a blunt instrument that matches his own power. When Soldier Boy opens his eyes, the room feels smaller. There is no warmth in their reunion, only the cold calculation of two apex predators realizing they need one another to survive the coming storm. To ensure their virus is ready for a god, the boys require a sacrifice. They target Rock Hard, a literal stone giant whose life is a pathetic display of commercialized vanity. The mission to his crib highlights the grotesque banality of the people Vought protects. Rock Hard isn't a warrior, he's a caricature, yet he is durable enough to serve as the perfect lab rat. As they struggle to administer the virus in the middle of his chaotic, vapid lifestyle, the tension is suffocating. Every second they spend in that mansion increases the likelihood of discovery by the one man who can stop them. At Vought Tower, Sister Sage is refining the mechanics of tyranny. While the others squabble over PR, she looks at data points. She maps Starlight's sympathizers by their consumer habits, demonstrating that in the modern age, rebellion is just another metric to be tracked and neutralized. Ashley, who has clawed her way up the corporate ladder through sycophancy, finally looks terrified. She sees in Sage a level of clinical cruelty that makes Homelander look impulsive. This is where the film becomes something else. A study in how intelligence, when stripped of empathy, becomes the ultimate engine of oppression. The mission reaches its breaking point when Soldier Boy arrives at the mansion. The past crashes into the present. He and Butcher share a look that contains decades of betrayal. Soldier Boy doesn't care about Vaught's agenda or the boys' survival. He is a relic of a more honest kind of violence. He nearly chokes the life out of Huey, a moment that forces Starlight to intervene. Her rescue of Huey is a frantic, desperate act that prioritizes love over the mission, a stark contrast to Butcher's willingness to let everyone die if it means a victory. In this moment, the team's internal fracture becomes a canyon. The climax is a slow, agonizing reveal of the virus's efficacy. As Rock Hard is finally infected, his stone skin begins to crumble. His death is not quick or clean. It is a visceral, melting collapse. The test is a success. Butcher looks on with a grim, lightless satisfaction, while the rest of the team recoils. They have created a monster to kill a god, but they are beginning to realize that the monster won't stop once its target is gone. The virus is active, and the world is now one broken vial away from silence. As the dust settles, the resolution offers no peace. Soldier Boy is back on the board, a wild card that Homelander believes he can control. The boys have their weapon, but the atmosphere between them is poisoned by the knowledge of what they are willing to do. They walk away from the mansion as shadows of themselves, leaving behind the wreckage of a man who was once a mountain. The weight of the virus hangs in the air, an invisible death sentence for every superpowered being on Earth, and quite possibly every human too. The end is no longer a question of who wins, but who is left to mourn.